Twist to dial up the voltage is about understanding on a more simplistic level how the fascial system works and how it works with your muscles to help you produce force. And I heard this really great analogy from David Weck, and he said, think of your fascial system like plastic wrap and your muscles like water balloons. And when you think about your fascia that covers all of your body from one end to the other, around your organs, around your ligaments, around your tendons, around your muscles, around your organs, what happens with plastic wrap is that when you twist it, it creates tension on the rest of the system. And if you can think of a balloon being wrapped by plastic and then twisting it, it creates pressure on the balloon, and either end shortens the distance that the balloon that has water in it can expand. And it creates pressure. And when you create pressure into a system, you increase the force of the system. So this is where I started really realizing that when I was trying to get into positions, I was often thinking about all of the joint angles and how to get these joint angles into different positions. And people would say, feel the connection in the throat. And I would have these elusive moments where I'd feel this connection up my hip, all the way from the ground, into my shoulder, into my chest, and I'd wing it. It would feel like this beautiful elastic contraction. I would feel like a rubber band. But I couldn't recreate it. And it was partially because I didn't understand this concept about twisting to increase tension into the body. And this comes back to endpoints. So in javelin, we make fun of people who do this. They run down the runway, they're going this direction, and their left arm is kind of doing this floppy thing. And it looks funny when you look at it and you realize that when there's no tension in this front hand, what's happening is that this is creating tension into the system. If I let go of the fingers, you can see my entire system drop. Your endpoints are nerve-rich endings. They let your body know how it is interacting with space, with the object in your hand, with how this object is going to pull energy back into your body. Now, if you want to try this exercise at home, it's really easy and it's really obvious. So if you were standing, you have nice long outstretched arms, and you bring your arms up and you try and feel a stretch through your chest. You try and open. You can let your hands relax and you'll notice how much stretch you are feeling through your chest. You can then push your fingers back, actively push your fingers, and you'll notice there is more of a stretch. Now, if you were throwing a javelin, you would have one hand up and this hand would be across your body. So it would look something like this. And then when you go to throw, you would pull open. Now, take this arm, which is up, and put this arm up. Then push this arm down and then lift this arm back. You're creating a big twist. And now try and open the chest. You will notice I feel the tension all the way from these fingertips all the way to these ones, from the pinky and the fourth to the first and the second. And this is what happens when we wrap the endpoints of our fascial system. It is a way to connect the body from one end to the other. Now, this is true of basically any point within our body. It's just really obvious in our hands. And this is how we funnel energy from our limbs back into our body. So you can do this the same way with twisting. A lot of the time people are often trying to brace their core, for example, in a squat, and that's good. You want to breathe in, you want to create pressure, you want to create a Valsalva maneuver. And it really, if you're really organized and well organized through your body, you will create a ton of pressure and force. But you get a lot more of strength because you get twisting in the fascial system within the core if you twist. So what I realized this ended up doing, and something I didn't understand for a really long time about core, is that fascia in the middle of our body, basically, if you look at anatomy trains, it goes across the back. It wraps around and it goes through. There's all of these spiraling, crossing patterns. And if we don't train within these twisted, coiling patterns, we are not tapping into the strength of the fascial system on top of the muscular system, on top of the nervous system that is trained through lifting. So you'll notice that when you go to do a yoga pose, you are not passively twisting, you are trying to actively rotate both sides, hips forward, shoulders the other side. And if you're hanging, you'll notice when you start doing cross body work, like trying to get one leg up to this hand and trying to go opposite leg, opposite arm, you will feel more of these patterns versus if you just try and tuck your legs up and down. So this is a major cheat code because a lot of the ways that we train athletes are linear. And as someone who was trained as a linear athlete for years, I kept hurting my back because I didn't know how to transfer energy through my spine in a spiral, in an X, in a circular wave. And when you start basically twisting things, you are contributing to feeling the line, to feeling the connection that is actually a spiral, actually a circle, and actually a wave. So that's the main takeaway of twist to feel the voltage. And this really combines the idea of endpoints, twisting your fascial system, creating pressure, and feeling into fascial lines.